mind underneath it.
Well, now we definitely know who you are. We're late, but we're here because it's my
Whatever.
fault. It's my
It,
fault, but
it's
whatever.
all good.
If you do not have a YouTube channel, you will never understand how difficult it is to get your camera angle right.
Oh my
What a
gosh.
pain in the butt.
I mean,
Ah.
I feel like I have to come in like 30 minutes early every single time just to get it set up.
So I was here. I was downstairs for the last hour and a half, like ready to go. But um first of all, you may see a man behind me. It's not my husband, it's the man working on the building. Another random person just pulled in the parking lot that I don't know. UPS was here. My landlord was here. Like, I don't know. Everybody's coming to visit today. And I am not at my machine, and neither is Kathy, because we're cutting, because that's what's on our table today. So
That's right. Literally on our table.
literally on our table is our rulers and our rotary cutters. So that's what we're doing today.
Yes.
This is my pile. So
Oh my gosh.
we're think of this less as video and visual and more as audio entertainment. Enjoy the
Exactly.
conversation.
Exactly.
Because I have a pile of cork that I need to cut here for Dallas. That's what I'm working on.
And
So,
what is Dallas?
your mom's here, so nothing else matters. Mary is here.
Hi, Mom. Hi, Mom.
What are you cutting today?
Oh my gosh, I'm cutting so many things. So I got this shirt pattern because I want to try to make some more clothes. I've done
Your brain.
joggers. I've done like, I don't know, 3 pairs of joggers I've made and they've all worked. So I'm like, okay, let me try something else. So I found this pattern. It's the Como knit top
Oh, that's cute.
from Style Arc. And I made one the other day, but I made I wanted the material. I wanted the shirt to be in that material, but it was like jogger material. So I think it's a little bit too heavy for the shirt, but it's fine. It'll work.
That's the one you posted. You had it on.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
I remember that. That was
Yes.
pretty.
So then I decided, okay, let me get some material that's like actually supposed to be used for the shirt.
Crazy.
I know. So I ordered like all of this from Mood.
Oh my god.
Um, and so I want to cut out, I have 3 different prints. I want to cut out 3 shirts. And I have a request. So if anybody watching, if you have like a really cute, like elastic waist shorts pattern that you know of,
Oh, yeah.
like I think that would just be really cute as like a little lounge set.
Yeah, for sure.
So that might be like once I get these and they hopefully fingers crossed turned out okay, then I might try the shorts. And if I can do joggers, I'm sure I can do shorts.
I'm sure you can. And since I can't at all, I will send you my measurements, and I would
Okay.
love a nice lounge set.
Perfect. So
Fantastic.
I have these three shirts to cut, and then I have 2 patterns that I've been wanting to make. Um, and let me show you. They're both mini backpacks, and I don't know which one I want more or which one I want first. So this is the Park mini backpack.
Oh, that's cute.
That one's
That's
by
cute.
Rosie and David. And then I have the one from Fierce Kitten Studios, the Dreamer backpack.
Yes, I've seen that one. I've never heard of Rosie and David. I feel bad. Why would I know them from anything else?
I don't.
You don't. Okay, so I don't feel
Nope.
bad.
But I saw them both and I was like, those are both really cute. And I would just like to try to make some mini backpacks. So
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
might be cutting out both of these depending on how the time's going. So I've got both of those. But I have to ask you, do you have this cork in stock?
um, yes, I do. I can see it from here. I can see it right over there. So
Okay.
yes,
Okay,
yes.
good. Because I need more. This is all I have left.
That cork is probably Eric's number one seller.
It's
Uh,
so good.
it's
And
so good,
it
so
looks
good.
so good with I mean anything. Like there's so many colors in there. It just looks I love it.
Exactly. And I love traditional tattoos, even though I don't have any traditional tattoos, but like I would put that on me. Like
Yeah.
I have birds, but they're not that kind of bird. Like I would
Yeah.
get that bird tattooed on me. I think it's beautiful. I
It
want
is.
I want more tattoos like on my arm, but I just don't ever take the time to go do that kind of stuff because I'm like, oh, it's time and it's money and I should be working, and then I don't. So,
Right.
and then my sister comes here yesterday and she was like, she just finished her second sleeve.
Oh,
She has
wow.
2 full sleeves and she was like, look what I did today. And I was like, of
Oh,
course you did.
of course you did. You're
She's
like,
all, it's really cool because her both of her sleeves are animal and nature, and like she's got like camping. She had like a cactus done yesterday. She's got a bear. Her tattoos are
wow.
gorgeous. They're
Wow.
absolutely gorgeous. But we are New Yorkers, so we are helpful but not always friendly. It's an upstate kind of a thing.
Yeah.
We'll talk to you, but we don't really want to talk to you, if that makes any sense. Now, people from the South, you guys just love to be friendly. You're super, super friendly. And she's like, the problem with living in North Carolina is I go to like Target and someone's like, tell me the meanings of your tattoos. And she's like, pick one. I have like hundreds. Like, I'm not telling you the meaning of all of them. I was like, Emily, you're either going to have to move back to the East Coast, like all the way up here, or you're going to
Right.
have to start to explain things. I said, get like a little card you can hand out.
Right. The meaning of my tattoos.
The meaning, here you go. I've been asked this enough.
And most of them are like, there's stories behind them. So you're like,
Yeah.
I don't have 20 minutes to talk to you. I'm sorry.
Exactly.
Or maybe I have 20 minutes, but I just don't want to talk to you for 20 minutes.
Right, exactly. And the funny thing is, it's not that hers don't have stories. They're kind of like, some of them do, but most of them are just a theme. So it's kind of hard to explain. Like,
Yeah.
like she has birth flowers of like, I think she has me, my mom, her, I forget who else, maybe my stepfather.
Yeah.
But a lot of her is like, the bear doesn't have a meaning. She doesn't know any bears. She
Right.
doesn't have like a connection to bears.
She doesn't know any bears.
She doesn't know any bears. She's never run into a bear. But it's just kind of like, you know, it goes with the theme.
Right. Right.
My tattoos, I'll have a significance because I don't have as many as her. So.
That's so funny. All right.
So, no, I told you guys, random conversations. Did I see Lauren's modified daisy bag? I sure did, Cindy. I had a nail appointment yesterday, and while I was waiting, I was watching the video, and I didn't get to finish it. But of course, Lauren is one of my closest friends. I love her dearly. She is also a pattern tester. But as far as pattern testing, she more just pattern modifies. So she's not my top tester, I'll say that, but she does really cool things, and I'm like, it's fine. I love it.
Yeah.
So
like
yes,
that,
I did see the beginning of the video.
like that Bolara.
Oh,
Bolara?
yes.
Whatever that
I
one's
have to
called.
say the real name, and then I can say Valera. No, Valora, Bolora.
Okay.
It takes me a minute, but yeah, I love what she's been doing with that. It's so
Yeah.
cute.
Yeah, it looks really, really good. So here's what I love about this shirt. There's only 3 pieces to it.
That I could get on board with. I probably still wouldn't hem it, but I would consider it.
I'm like, 3 pieces? I think I can handle 3 pieces.
Tracy, that's the craziest thing I've ever heard. Tracy said, my sister just had a bear walk by her house last night. Please tell me she lives in like Alaska or something and not, you know, like downtown Cleveland or something. Like,
Minnesota. I think
where?
she's in Minnesota.
Oh my goodness.
So I mean, that
Kathy,
makes sense though. I would think you would see bears in Minnesota.
yeah, that makes sense. Kathy, what's on our tables? What are we working on?
Oh, I am working on right now. I'm cutting out shirts.
And
knit shirts.
Pile of cork. This is what's on my table right now. I am cutting out daisies for my Dallas class at the end of this month. So I do all the prep work only for classes, not for like regular kits that we send out, but we do all the prep work so that we can sit down and sew. And this is my full day Wednesday class. So I'm excited. It's almost full. I have 1 seat.
Oh, that's awesome.
I know. I'm so excited. But I'm also like, why do I only have one seat? What are you guys doing? Why does one person not want to sign up? I need one more.
Right. When is Dallas again? You said that, but I
It
don't remember.
is July 31st to August 2nd.
Okay.
So, soon enough that I should probably have these kits done. But I wouldn't be me if I actually was prepared. I panicked before we went to Washington because I was ready like a week before we left, and I was like, I forgot everything. I had to. There's no way that I'm actually this prepared. But I didn't.
This early.
This is not normal. I can't be this prepared. But it all worked out. I was actually okay.
Tracy says northern Minnesota. So
Oh.
I always think Minnesota is just too cold. Like I grew up in Michigan and I always see Minnesota like in the winter. I'm like, oh, I don't know. I don't
Yeah.
think I could do it. Northern Minnesota
That
is,
sounds even more cold.
yes, it does sound even more cold. So here's a question.
Yeah.
From our last ties into our last live.
Oh, I hope it's not the question I think it is.
Have you watched any movies?
Damn it! I knew that was going to come up. Okay, so to answer that question, I've watched many movies. Not the ones that you guys are asking about. I have still not watched Back to the Future. I'm sorry. For those of you that were not here last time, I outed myself and said that I have never watched Back to the Future. A classic that everybody in the world has watched, I have not watched. So I said, before we go live again, I'm going to watch it. And I didn't.
Busted twice.
I know. It's not because I don't want to watch it. It's because I just didn't. And I'm not even going to give you I was busy. Like, I'm not going to give you the excuse. I just didn't watch it yet. But I will. I'm going to watch it. I'm going to blow you guys away when I say, guess what? I actually did. And I thought to myself, they're going to ask me. I already know they are. Yep. And no, I have not. So I don't. At least I'm honest.
That's all right. Exactly.
It's not gonna go away. It's not gonna be like expired. I can watch it.
Right.
I just have it. I will say
it's funny because what reminded me of it was that I was watching Indiana Jones yesterday.
Ah, okay. Yeah.
I was like, that's right.
I mean, I watched some other classics. I was watching Wrong Turn, the original.
What is that?
It's a horror movie.
Oh, okay.
I say classic as a joke. It's not. It's from like 2003. But it's just, this is going to sound really messed up to everybody except me. It's a comfort movie for me. Because I know everything about it. It's like the equivalent of watching Friends. Like, I already know everything that's happening, so I can just sit and watch it and, and not think about it. And sometimes when
it's not scary.
It's very scary. It was the first time, but now it's not because I'm desensitized. So
yeah, because you're like, oh yeah, this person's about.
It's fine. But I mean, it's a bunch of inbred hillbillies chasing people through the woods and murdering them. So I mean, it's not warm and cozy by any means, but it does it for me. It is always October in my house. Love Notions have easy patterns. I think that's going to be for you, Kathy, not for me because I don't do clothing.
Love Notions. Okay.
Love Notions. And let's see here. Sandy, I'm not surprised that you had bears in your neighborhood. I don't know where you live, but I know what city you live in because we know each other. And I've wondered if that's where your email address came from. Yes, we do, Pat. Pat also lives in New York, not far from here. And we do have bears, not like on the regular, but I mean, it happens. And Pat lives very rural because she's got lots of farm animals and space. So it does not surprise me that you've seen bears. I have not seen any, although around here it definitely could happen. Monty Python is a great movie, Pat.
Oh, yeah.
It is fantastic. You did okay, Tracy. I have to ask you, how was the Nosferatu
Yeah.
remake? Because
Yes.
I have the channel that it's on, the app. We don't have cable. We just have we have our Amazon Prime, and I have a bunch of apps. I can watch it. I just haven't taken the time to watch it, but I've heard that everybody loved it. I don't know compared to the original or if they're just comparing it to itself, but everybody's been talking very highly about that movie.
I wondered about that one too. I have not seen the original, and I thought about seeing the remake, but then I thought, I don't know if I should see the remake before I see the original.
The original has been so long that I don't remember enough that I feel like I don't think I could really reference it. I think I would need to watch it again too if I need to watch it. Or
Yeah.
can I just watch the new one that came out this year? Oh, Sandy, that's cute. I was always wondering that. It was okay you didn't like the ending. Okay, fair. You know, good to know. Good to know. I will go into it with an open mind because you just never know. Everybody kind of likes something different, right?
Right.
So, I
Yep.
don't know what Monty Python's The Meaning of Life. I don't think I've watched that. I've watched The Holy Grail. I have not watched. Have you seen that, Kathy?
Yes, but it's been a long time.
Okay, because I don't think I've ever seen that one. I've watched The Holy Grail many times because I remember there was somebody I was friends with in high school that was obsessed with it, and so we watched it like every time we were at their house.
I was just laughing when you said that because all I could think of was the murder rabbit. That's why I started laughing.
So I am not in my classroom. I am in the shipping area. So that window faces our parking lot, but the classroom is that way, and there's even more of those big windows. But no, I am not in the classroom. Um, I was out here already because I have everything set up. So this is where I've been cutting because Eric went back to work this week. So I've been taking over his space. So I will have to vacate when he comes home this afternoon, but that's fine. I just like cutting here better. The cutting table in the classroom only has like one window next to it, and I have windows in front of me and on the side. So I like being out here when I'm cutting better.
Yeah. More light and
More light. And we didn't use the classroom for such a long time that this kind of just became like my normal spot. So him being here and taking my spot away was kind of frustrating, but
right.
that's all right.
You're like, you're in my space.
I'm like, this is my space, and now he's like, you need to move. Your stuff's in my spot. I'm like, no, my spot first.
All right, one down.
I got 1.5 daisies. I'm only doing the outsides right now. I'll do the linings separately.
Yeah.
The outsides you got to think about. The linings are a little bit easier. So,
Right. Right. That's true.
Michelle, I told Eric the other day that I am a houseplant and I require light. I should have more water, but the light is more important. So I said sometimes I just need to sit downstairs because our apartment upstairs is great, but there's not as much light. There's not enough windows. There are in the kitchen, but not anywhere else. So yeah, I have to just be down here sometimes absorbing the sunshine. Otherwise, I'm a dead house plant. I'm wilted. We made a murder rabbit from one of the kids' stuffed rabbits and made teeth from a plastic fork. Oh my god. It hung around our house for years. Carol, I want to come visit.
That's
Oh,
hilarious.
that's funny. So, Kathy, are you working on new pattern, anything right now?
Yes. Actually, several. um, there's one with testers right now.
Same.
That one is scheduled to be released next Friday.
Ooh, mine
Um,
is, I think, the week after.
oh, good.
Nice.
Um, it is a pattern that will have two sizes. And both sizes are included in the pattern.
Nice.
So I'm excited about that one. Um, and then I have another one that I'm in the process of writing up. I took the photos and then I wanted to change something, so now I have to retake all the photos.
Isn't that fun?
Yeah.
These are the things that happen behind the scenes that people don't always know.
Yeah.
And I've done it myself. I photographed an entire pattern and like one step is just not working, but you
Yeah.
thought it was going to work and then you went in and reworked it and had to do all new photos.
Yeah.
So
Because it's
I've
like
been there.
once you get it right, I mean, that's the thing. Like, I'll probably make 5 or 6 or more bags before I get it just right.
Exactly. Same. Same.
And even if it like if it works, but I don't like the way it goes together, like if I'm like, there's got to be an easier way to do this,
Yeah.
then I'll keep working on it until I figure that out.
Well, and you don't want to send it to testers when it's not like good because you don't want to waste their time and their materials. So
Right.
even though the point of testing is like to help us critique it and like perfect it, I don't want to send it to them and them to be like, I just wasted so much material because all of your measurements are wrong. You know,
Right.
so it's
Right.
like we want it as perfect as possible so that when they give us their notes, the notes are minimum, you know.
Yes.
Or like
Yes.
here's
There's
a
not a lot to do.
thing that might make it easier. Like here's what I found when I was testing instead of being like, problem.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. This doesn't work.
This doesn't work at all. Nice try though.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm kind of in almost the same boat as you, which is really funny. I have a pattern with testers. I think notes are due next week, and so it will probably release. I think I said the week after. I don't know dates anymore. Um, it will be coming to
Yes.
Texas with me, which is awesome. But I will not have templates or anything ready because I think I'm releasing it 2 days before we leave. Um,
Oh
which
wow.
is fine. It's
So
PDF. It's fine, but it
so you'll
just
have the hard copies in Texas? Hard
yeah.
copies of
I'll
the
have the
pattern?
hard copies to bring to Texas, and then I'll try to leave some of those behind in case my mom has to ship those out because my mom will be here while we're gone. And then I immediately, and I think this is kind of because of you, Kathy. I immediately started designing another pattern because I don't know about you, but like when you're in the when you're in the creative mode, like you have to go with it.
Yeah.
It's not a plan. Like I don't plan out like I'm going to release this many patterns this year.
Right.
I just kind of I'm like I'm in the mode, and I remember I said to you, not in like a like critical way, just like I was questioning, and I was like, why do you find that you go from one pattern to the next, and you're like, gotta pay those bills, gotta get stuff done, like I got like there's it works, it makes sense,
Right.
and I'm like, yeah, you're right, like nothing changes, and that's the creative fun part that we do. So yeah, and
Yeah.
so I've done 1, 2, 3 right in a row. It's
Yeah.
like take it while you have it.
Yeah. I mean, I also have outside of um those two, I also have two more that I'm working. I say working on, but half of the working is in my head still.
No, absolutely. And I also have one more. I mean, I have a sketchbook. Like this is my magic book. This has literally every like there's notes. This is I do like it's almost like my diary every year
Yeah.
of what I do and all the things that I want to accomplish. I am already thinking and starting in my head to work on the New Year's Eve mystery bag because that has to happen. I started that. Now I can't stop.
Right, right, right.
So it's
You
like
created the monster.
exactly, and I'm like, well, now I must feed the monster. So it's not even in the beginning stages of being written, but like the concept is there. And I also my friend Christy, who also tests for me, she's the one that kind of started this, like not intentionally, but they're always related to her when I name them.
Oh
And
yeah.
so she's like, what do you think about this idea? And she always kind of starts something and then I finish it and make it into a pattern. So it's like our little collaboration every year,
Oh,
which
that's
is
cool.
super fun.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, so I'm excited about that. I'm excited that it's July and I already have the concept. That
Right.
makes me happy.
That is a huge relief.
Yeah, not like, oh, it's October, I should probably make a decision.
Right, right. You should start on that.
I should probably get
Because
thinking about that.
it takes, I mean, once I start making the bag, once it like leaves my head and actually starts becoming reality, I mean, it probably takes me 2 months
Yeah.
by the time I get the bag right, get it written, get it to testers, and get it back and ready.
Yeah, that sounds about right. That's why I do not know how some designers are cranking out like 6 and 8 patterns in a year. I'm like, do you not have anything else going on? Because that's insane.
It's a
Like,
lot.
it's
Yeah.
a lot, and like just they have to be working on them simultaneously.
Right.
There's like no other way that it could work.
Right.
I do not like, I've done it before. I don't like writing simultaneously. It just, like, I did 3 patterns at one time. I used to release in groups, and I have no idea why. It was just the way it kind of happened in early years of like bags.
Yeah.
I was writing 3 patterns, and I can tell because the photographs on the covers were all taken in the same place. And I wrote all 3 of those at the same time, and I was like, I don't know how I did that. I don't
Yeah.
know how my brain could possibly handle that.
Right. And why did I do
Why did
why
I
did
do
I
that
do
to
that?
myself? And also, I've obviously learned because I will not do it to myself again.
Right.
Because right now, the pattern that's with testers, I have to do the tutorial, but like my part in a roundabout way is done.
Yeah.
It's just final edits,
Yep.
and like I've done the bulk of the work. So it's fine to move on to something else, but
Right.
I could not write that and write the new pattern at the same time.
No. Because you're thinking of I feel like if you're writing two at the same time, they start to like blend together.
Correct. And I have a hard enough time calling my bags by the wrong name. Like I'll be like, I'm working on Violet, and Eric's like, I thought it was Daisy. I'm like, damn, you're right. It
It
is.
is. Yeah.
I'm like, why can't I remember this? I keep saying I'm teaching Violet in Dallas, and I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm teaching Daisy. I'm not teaching Violet's done. That's not happening right now.
And you don't want to like get it confused, and then all of a sudden your brain clicks and you're like, wait, this isn't how Violet goes. You're like, no, wait, that's because I'm not doing Violet.
Exactly. This is why I can't write at the same time.
And meanwhile, the students in class are looking at you like, is she
You
okay?
okay? So this is a really great question that Michelle asked. She said, do you feel like you're wasting material? Do you use cheap materials? I assume you mean when we're testing. So
Like
this is some,
prototyping.
yeah, this is something that I was actually thinking about yesterday, because it's tricky because I visually, and you guys probably know this, like it's patterns look different in different materials. So like if you made a one of Kathy's bags or one of my bags, and you didn't love your materials, it's hard to look at that bag and like at overall, you're just like, oh, I wish I didn't put that blue with this color. So when I'm prototyping, I try to take as many notes as I can. I try to kind of whittle it down to what I think it's going to look like, and then I keep cheap, like crummy cork around, or like vinyl that I'll never use. Like I keep it kind of in my own little stash, and I'll play around with that if I need to get like a shape or a size or something. Um, and then once it gets to a certain point, I have to break into some of the good stuff, which is hard. It's really hard to do. It's like
Yeah.
mentally, it's a challenge. But I need to see how it looks in something pretty to see if I'm going in the right direction.
Yep.
So I try not to waste a lot. I'll try to finish stuff, or at least make it so I can take it apart. Sometimes I'll just use like a basting stitch just so that I can see a shape of something, and then I'll take it apart and use it for something else. I'll use scraps. Sometimes I'll use foam. So it definitely can be a little bit wasteful, especially if you're some patterns just don't go together as quickly as you want, and others do. Like, first prototype, you're like, I think I got this the way I want it.
Yeah.
So I try not to, but sometimes it's part of the process. You do have to kind of suck it up and waste some of your good stuff. It's
Yeah.
not fun,
Yeah.
but it happens. What do you do, Kathy? Like, what's your kind of process with that?
So pretty much the same. I will use stuff that, like, I have so much vinyl that I've purchased over the years, and I look at it now and I'm like, why did I get that? Like,
Like,
I don't really like that, but
but I
like
have.
now I don't like it. So like I'll use that to test with. I also will use scraps. So the bag may look crazy when it's done, but it's just so that I can see if it's going to work.
Yeah.
And then I also will, if I get something and it's like, well, that didn't work at all. But you know, I have direction for how I can change it and whatever. Um, I will like, I'll cut it up and salvage what I can. So like hardware or zippers or zipper pulls
Mhm.
or stuff like that. I'll just try and get that out.
Yeah, I have a daisy that is still sitting. She's in timeout at the moment. I made her, loved her, totally changed the pattern. How hardware and stuff was attached and everything, because another unfortunate thing that happens to both of us, I'm sure, I mean, I'm assuming it happens to you too, Kathy. You are like so excited about making something, and then somebody releases something and you're like, no, that was my pattern. And so you feel the need to change it because you don't want to step on anyone's toes, you don't want to be accused of anything. But now
Right.
you kind of design something and you're like, well, now I got to rework it because that pattern was just released. So
Right.
I have a daisy she's just chilling. She's chilling right now. I've taken bits and pieces of her apart and I'll figure something out. I could finish it at some point, maybe. I don't know. And like give it away.
Yeah.
But I also save a lot of my random horrible looking things because I love to show them like on YouTube lives to show kind of the process of like how I got to where I'm at.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of fun too, but yeah, it's just part of the cost of designing patterns that sometimes you just have to waste a little something to get something better.
Right. And like the one, you know, because I showed you the pattern that I'm writing up right now that I have to re-photo.
Yeah,
Um,
which by the way, you
it
guys,
looks like
you're going to love it. It's
which
so
I
good.
said, I'm like, it looks so good in cork. Like you said, it looks different based on what material
Yeah.
you use. And I love it in cork. And I made one in cork, but I needed to make changes. And I'm like, I'm not using cork for the next one. I'm just going to use some whatever, like vinyl that I don't care about because, you know, cork's too valuable.
And even the vinyl that you don't care about still made a really pretty bag. And I think you're all going to love it. Like, this is the really exciting thing when, because we'll show each other pictures and I'm like, oh, look at what I'm doing. And so it's very, very fun that we kind of get little sneak peeks. And Kathy sometimes tests for me. I don't test for anybody because I'm just lame like that. I would if you wanted me to, but I don't know. No one ever asked me and I never put it out there. But we have trust in each other and it's fun to like go back and forth. And I get so excited because I'm like, wait, do you see what Kathy has? And then I'm like, wait, do you see what I'm doing? And so it's
We're like, it's so good.
it is so good. It's so good. So, no, Zena, I did not get my hair. Well, I didn't get my hair cut. I re-trimmed my bangs, and I washed my hair yesterday. So day two hair is always good hair. So day
You
first
trimmed.
first day hair is not good hair. Day two hair is always the good one.
I agree. Yeah, first day hair. My first day hair is like poof. It's just like really big and
Yeah.
too curly.
The humidity here has been out of control this week, and I went
Yeah.
to bed the other night with my hair like kind of wet, And I woke up in the morning and Eric's like, what is happening with your hair? I'm like, I don't know. It was curled all over the place. My bed, like it was absolute chaos. I'm like, I don't have an answer. It's a lot. So this
Yeah.
is what it looks like when I actually do something to it. Because I woke up and I'm like, I don't even look like me. Who is that? It's like, that's a lot.
Yeah.
Crazy hair.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. So
yes.
I learned something the other day. I don't know if anybody on here is from Wisconsin. Tracy might be the closest one. Um, but I learned that Wisconsin is very humid in the summer.
Really? That's interesting. I had no idea.
I had no idea either. I mean, when I grew up in Michigan, I thought, whew, this summer humidity is awful. And then I moved to Tennessee and I was like, heh.
Never mind.
Never mind. I'll take the Michigan humidity any day.
Exactly. I mean, we get humidity, and I remember it's funny you say Michigan, because there was a lady in Michigan once that was telling me that we don't get humidity in New York, and I was like, oh, sweetheart, we do though. We don't have Florida all year round humidity, but
Right. It's
we
different.
have humidity.
Right.
She goes, oh, for like a day or two? I was like, no, for like a month or two. Like, it's not,
And what
we can have 80 to 90% humidity for the entire summer. It's not like,
right. Right.
she was like, oh, that's cute. I'm like, you're in Michigan. What do you know?
Exactly. Yeah. Then I also, yeah, because then when I thought, oh, Tennessee is awful, then my brother-in-law lives in Charleston and I went down there and I was like, oh my
Oh,
God.
yeah.
This is even worse.
The last time I was in Charleston was, I want to say it was like September or early October. And
Yeah.
I remember thinking, this is unreal. It's still like this? Like, what is going on? It was crazy. And I did a show and we had to pack up. So
Oh,
that's super fun trying to pack. And every time you walk out of the air conditioned building, you're like, oh no, this is
sweat. Yeah. I know I'm like, I always say that, like anytime I go to, like we went to New Orleans this summer, well, like in May. So I knew it was going to be hot, but I still didn't think, I guess, that it was going to be that hot.
no.
Um, but I was like, how was the South? How was the South ever populated before the invention of air conditioning?
Exactly. Exactly.
I
It
don't
doesn't
understand.
really make sense.
The guys are wearing wool suits and the girls have, the corsets and all the layers. I'm like, and I have one of our neighbors in this neighborhood. He's older and he's from Mississippi, and he's like, that's what front porches and uh lemonade is ice, ice cold lemonade is for. Front porches and lemonade. And I was like, no,
No, that doesn't quite cut it.
that's not gonna do it.
No, for sure. I mean, growing up, like we didn't have air conditioners because I don't think anybody really did, but
No,
my
we didn't.
grandparents were also really cheap. Like we couldn't listen to the radio in the car because it killed the battery. So like we weren't gonna, yeah, that's where we were at. So we didn't have
Yep.
air conditioning, and I didn't even know what air conditioning really was, and
No.
oh, and my first apartment, I was on the second floor. We didn't have air conditioning, and I didn't
Oh.
even have a window unit. Like I didn't have anything. I remembered I invited a friend over, and he was like, "How do you live like this? Your apartment is like 110 degrees." I'm like, "Well, you get used to it." And he was like, "I gotta go."
You're like, no.
And I was like, "Okay, bye."
I mean, I remember when I was a kid going into like Sears, at the mall, and they had like all the window AC units set up, and they had those like streamers blowing off of them.
Oh yeah, what was up with the streamers? Always,
Yeah.
they're
And
like,
we would as kids, we'd like stand in front of them like,
I would go get in my car and just drive around because it was just cool. And I
Yeah.
remember my mom and I would do that because we had a 2-level apartment when I was like in high school.
Oh
And
yeah.
we didn't have air conditioning and we never bought window units or anything, so it was just hot and our bedrooms were upstairs. So my mom would be like, "Do you want to go take a drive?" I was like, "Yes, please.
Yes. Anything, please.
Anything to get out of this."
All right, so I'm on to cutting a backpack out.
Damn, you're quick. Okay. Let's see.
Well, it helps when the shirts only have 3 pieces.
Yeah, but still that's a lot. So I have 1, 2, 3. I got 5 outsides done. So
Okay.
I mean, it's 1, 2, 3, 6 pieces, and I'm using my template. So
Oh
it's not,
yeah.
templates are things that I never ever understood people buying. I was like, why would you spend money on an acrylic template? Yeah, I understand why now. I
Yeah.
totally
Especially when you're cutting out kids.
correct. Exactly. That's why I made the template for the boxy pouch. Like, it was so much easier than having to keep measuring over and over again. So
Yeah.
let's see. Been ignoring everybody. Sorry. See what everyone's saying. Ooh, 70%. Yeah, Pat, that sounds about right. 87% humidity today. It is currently only 76, but it feels very, very hot outside. So, and there's ice cream right down the road. I've had ice cream several times this week because why not? There's
Why
like,
not?
I can walk there if I want to, but also it's hot, so I drive. But I can see it from here. It's like 3 buildings down.
Nice. So my mom said, which pattern are you using for the backpack? This one that I'm cutting out now is the Park Mini Backpack. It's by Rosie and David.
That is really cute.
It's a pattern I've had like on my table for the longest time. Because I don't think I'll ever design a backpack like a traditional shape backpack. But they're really cute, and so I want to make them too.
Exactly. They are super cute. It is backpacks are a lot of work like for a pattern.
Yeah,
I have a backpack, but it's not like a traditional like that. Like the traditional shape that you think of.
yeah. So we'll
Now that
see.
we're talking about air conditioning, I'm hot. I'm going to turn mine up.
I
I'll be
know. I'm like,
turn the fan on, turn the AC up, down. I don't know which one it is. Whichever.
whichever way. So Tracy said we had fans going, so basically we created a convection oven.
Pretty much, yes.
Yeah, we
And you don't
had
really think about it until later on and you're like, that wasn't that smart.
right.
I would get up in the morning when it was super hot and immediately open the windows because it sounded smart, like to
Right.
get
Get
air.
the air in. Yeah,
No, you just let all the hot air in.
yeah, yep. We in the house that I grew up in, we had an attic fan. So I don't know if you know what that is, but it's a big, like
Yeah.
in our hallway, it was a huge, like it took up the width of the hallway and it was wide and it had these like levers that would open and suck all the hot air up, into the fan. But I mean, it worked.
Yeah. I don't even remember. I think we just had like box fans and stuff. Like, I
Yeah.
don't think that I had like a ceiling fan or anything in my room growing up. If I did, I'm not remembering it. So I think we just used box
No,
fans
we
and
didn't.
sweat a lot. And we had a pool. So that also helped.
Oh,
I'm
nice.
remembering now
We did
why I
not.
liked spending so much time in the pool because I'm not really a big swimmer. I'm not like I don't care to have a pool now, but I'm remembering now that's probably why you spent so much time as a kid because it was hot.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah,
Eric
we didn't.
asked me that not that long ago. He's like, "Would you ever want a pool?" And I was like, "No." Like if we moved somewhere and it had a pool, I would
Uh-huh.
use it, but I don't want to put one in.
Right.
I'm not going to use it enough that I really want a pool.
Right. Well, and I feel like, I mean, the same is true in Michigan. The season for swimming pools is so short to me.
Exactly.
It's a lot of work for like 2 or 3 months.
Exactly. And like it's a lot of money to put a pool in. My parents have an in-ground pool that they put in during COVID because, we weren't going anywhere. And like,
Right,
this summer, I felt so bad for them because they opened their pool in May and it's still cold. Like it's
right.
pool is cold. It's been miserable here
I
for
was gonna
like
say your spring has been awful, right?
oh my god, it's we had no spring. We just had rain. We had snow here in April. Like it was still winter in April. That is not fair. Like by March, I'm over it. Like by February, I'm over it.
Yes,
So I felt
yes.
so bad because they opened their pool up, but they couldn't go in it. And we also like we live across the street from a brewery. That is a really hard word for me to say. It just doesn't come out right.
Yeah.
They have all summer long, like Thursday through Sunday, they have events outside. They have a big tent that they put up. They've always got concerts and like all this stuff. And I feel so bad for them because most of their stuff got rained out. In
Oh,
May, they have Scottish games, which are always fun because we can see it from the window upstairs, like the
yeah.
log tossing and all that kind of
Oh,
stuff.
yeah, yeah.
It's really fun to watch. But this summer, it was so cold in May. I was looking at people outside with like jackets on. And I thought, this is so wrong. Like, this is not right. This should not be happening right now.
Yeah. We have a our spring has been, and summer in general has been very rainy. We
Yeah,
usually
same.
don't get a lot of rain. Um, I mean, usually by this time of year, all the grass is brown and crispy and so dry, and we have, we're in some level of a drought and water restrictions and all this stuff. Um, because it was so wet, we have a restaurant in our town. It's been there for like 38 years, and it had to close because it's mainly an outdoor restaurant.
Oh, that stinks.
And they said it's just, they plan their money and their budget, whatever, to like make it through the winter,
Right.
which there will be some winter days that are nice enough we could still sit outside and eat. And they have a small inside part, but most of it is outside. And they have, live music and lawn games, and it's just a really neat place. Um, but they said this year with all the rain, like they had no business in the spring.
Yeah,
I'm like, this really sucks because they've been around for almost 40 years.
exactly. Exactly. And you don't think, especially where you guys are, that like that's going to be a major issue.
Right.
But yeah, and then that's like across from us. I've been inside before I went, and they had like an ornament making class there,
Oh,
and
yeah.
that's a whole other thing. So I'm not really good with stuff that I don't control. It doesn't work very well. My mom's like, "Go make friends." I was like, "No, I don't want to talk to anybody." But anyway, like, no, I don't want to. I only want to talk about sewing.
No,
So
no.
I've been over there, and it's really cute inside, but it's not big, so they can't have big events inside. They can only hold maybe like 20 or 30 people. So they have this huge, like outside, there's a little stream in front, and then they have a huge lawn, and then they have like the tent, and they have the like a permanent outdoor, like a gazebo kind of thing for the bands.
Yep.
But I remember being here last summer, like living here last summer compared to this summer. You
Yeah.
can see the difference. Like you can tell it's just not as busy because they haven't been able to.
Right.
And I feel bad for him. I feel bad for anybody trying to have a business right now in general, but having that kind of business that is dependent upon weather,
Right. Oh,
and none of us can control that. So
nope.
Delia said we're we're giving her motivation to cut out patterns. Good, because this is the reason I'm actually getting stuff done is because of you guys, because otherwise I just spend the whole week doing everything but this. Like I need to work on and I said to my mom, this is so bad. I knew it was going to come back to bite me. Depending on what I get for classes, since I have this break in like May and June, you got to remind me to cut those kits, get myself prepared for Texas, and don't wait until the week before. And now it's July 10th, and I'm just starting to cut my kits out. Like, ugh. I frustrate myself. So
Well, yeah. But at least
I'm
it's
a
not the week of.
procrastinator.
I know I've got that expo in September
Yes.
out in California, and I've not done any. I mean, I'm like, but it's only July. I still have all of September. I mean, all of August.
Right.
I got time.
It's terrible. It's because it's just everything else happens. And this week, so I have an excuse this week. I can't say I've had a good one the rest of the weeks, but this week I do. Eric went back to work. So, like, I got to do everything by myself.
Yeah.
I had to drive myself to my nail appointment yesterday. I don't drive myself anywhere anymore. I got used to having my own personal chauffeur, and now I got to do everything alone. I was like, this is stupid. I was like, I got to do this by myself? Come on. So, yes, I'm whining. I'm, first world problems here, but still, I was like, oh man, this is dumb.
That's so funny. This is just dumb.
This is dumb. I was like, why am I driving myself?
Driving Miss Daisy.
Exactly. I don't like driving. Eric does, and also I just don't drive when he's around. So I haven't been having to.
Right. You have no reason.
Right, and so he would take me, drop me off at my appointment, go, pick up the mail, mow the lawn, do whatever needed to happen at our house, and then be done with it, and then come pick me up, and then we go home.
Yeah, that works.
And it was nice. So
finger facing.
I'm a little upset.
Sorry.
Plus, my dogs are mad at me this week. I think they're blaming me for him leaving.
Oh.
They're very, very upset that he's not here all day. It's always nice when they make you really know that you're the second favorite.
Right.
Like, thanks, guys. I love you too.
Yeah, my dog. Anytime my husband's in the room, he's like locked right on him. Like, you get in between his line of sight, and he's just like,
move. Get out of my way.
Can't see my person.
I mean, Roxy and I at least have a relationship. She does like me for the most part. Eric's always more important, but Zoe is like, oh, it's you. Like, why are you still here? Why don't you go to work and he can stay home? So all week long, just the absolute, dragging herself around, just so sad and depressed.
Oh.
Like, I think the dog needs medication now. Like, and then he comes home and she's like, everything's been great today. I'm like, you've been moping since he left. So stop pretending.
Exactly. Everything's wonderful.
I woke up this morning at like 4 to use the bathroom, and I walk out. She's on the ottoman in the living room, like with her head between her feet, just. And you can still sleep in the bed. Like, just because he left, you're fine. And she just looks at me. I picked her up and I carried her in the bedroom. She's like, okay, fine. I'm like, I'm sorry that everything is so hard for you. Truly.
Right. That was last night. We were, Tony usually heads to bed around 9 because he gets up early and goes for runs before it gets too hot. So Jake is used to like around 9 o'clock, like it's time for bed. Like, I'm ready for bed. So last night, Ellie didn't get home from work until, I don't know, 9:45. So he was already like, this is taking too long. And then we're sitting there talking to her when she gets home and, hearing about her work day and all this. And Jake, like, he gets up because he's like laying next to Tony. He gets up and he sits up and he looks at him. And he's just looking at him. And then he's like,
Come
spin,
on.
spin, spin, and then like dramatically flops back down on the couch. And then a little bit later, he's like, oh, like,
They're so pathetic.
like, when are we going to bed? I'm like, I
I'm
looked at him.
tired.
I was like, you can go in there. Like, the bed is right there. If you're ready, just go ahead. We'll be there in a minute. And he just looks at me like, why would I do that?
Yeah, and I didn't ask you, so can you leave
Yeah,
me alone?
exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, same thing. Yeah,
It's
just
ridiculous.
I just could not believe, like, as I come out of the living room, I see this lump on the end of the chair. I'm like, come on, are you kidding me right now? He left. I can't take it.
I can't take it. I can't go to sleep. I can't do any of my normal stuff.
My sister and
It's
her
hurting.
girl came over yesterday for dinner. I haven't seen them since May, so they came over and we were downstairs. Just we were going to Target, and so we're talking to Eric. And I look down on the floor, and Zoe is rolling around every day of the full year we've been here. She rolls on the carpet, rubs her back, and she takes a moment every day to have that little piece for herself. And
Okay.
then she stares at Eric, and I said to my sister, there are two things that I wish I could have in this life. The first is the enjoyment that Zoe finds just rolling on the floor. I
Right.
wish that something so mundane would make me that happy. But
Right.
I also wish that I could experience the true love that she feels about my husband. Like, I love him, but I don't think I love him nearly as much as she does. I
Right.
want to know what it's like to actually love somebody that deeply. This dog is just like, you are my everything. Without you, I can't live.
Exactly. Life is meaningless without you.
Exactly. If you jump, I jump. I'm going with you. Oh my god. Oh, it's crazy.
You're so funny.
I am a passenger princess. You are correct. It's not my favorite term, but I am one. I'm not gonna say I'm not. That's why I get a little whiny when I have to drive to shows and my mom goes, because I'm like, damn, I have to drive the whole way. But you
The
know,
whole way.
the whole way and the whole way back to
Because
do
does your mom
something that I signed up for.
does your mom drive?
No.
Yeah.
I
So
mean,
you're
my mom, okay, yes, my mom drives. She'll
yeah.
drive out here. But if
Yeah.
we're driving long distances, no, she shouldn't drive. Either
Yeah.
my stepfather drives the whole way or I drive. So no, my mom is also a passenger. See, it's hereditary. I got
Right.
it from her.
Right.
So that's, if she goes to visit my sister in North Carolina, Dan drives the whole way. If we go to a show, I drive the whole way. And she'll offer, but it's not genuine. She'll be like, if you want me to drive, but I know what she means is, but I don't really want you to
But I
sit.
really don't want to.
But I
Yeah.
don't want to, so please don't ask.
Yeah.
So, Kathy, where in California is the expo you're going to?
It is in Sacramento. So it's the Sacramento Bag and Sew Expo. I think I have it listed on my website under events, with the link, but it's I don't know. I've never been there before. Well, I take that back. I've been to the airport in Sacramento. That's it.
It is a big tourist attraction, so.
Yeah. That is it. But it's at the Scottish Rite, I think. Scottish Rite.
That sounds correct. I don't remember.
Something, yeah. I've never been. It's the first year for the expo, so I'm interested to see how it goes. You never know, first year of anything. There's always
It's hard
learning.
to say, but
Yeah.
it's nice to get in on something new. If it becomes something really big, it's fun to be like, I've been here since the beginning.
Right. And I get to go to California, so.
Exactly. And there's nothing wrong with that.
Right. And I think in that area, well, I know in that area, the Folsom Prison is right near there.
Oh, yeah.
And so, we're in Tennessee, so Johnny Cash, like.
Exactly.
We might just have to go by there just because.
I feel like you have to. Like. Yeah. Can you hear that?
I can. What is it?
It's my fan.
Oh,
I don't know why it rattles sometimes. Is it annoying? I can turn it off.
no. I mean, it
Okay.
doesn't bother me.
Okay. If it's bugging you guys, I will turn it off. It just feels really nice. And I don't know why it does that, because it's fine and then it's not. And it just starts like making weird noises. And of course, the next day it just gets worse.
At my husband's grandma's house, which, yeah, she's 97. She's still alive. That's amazing.
That's crazy.
But at her house, she has a fan in there, like in the back bedroom. Because also, because she's older, so like she keeps it very warm in the house.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
So we're always, whenever we visit, we're like, we need the air. So we always have the fan on, but that back bedroom fan makes a knocking sound. And you can't sleep with it because you just hear knock, knock, knock all night long. It's like, oh my God, I'm gonna go crazy.
This is annoying enough during the day, but I would never be able to sleep with this fan going.
Yeah. But it's funny, we end up closing the heat vents in the winter in that back bedroom and opening the window a little bit because it's so hot. Like we don't tell her we did that because she'll be like, guys,
Right. No. But 97 years old, like, I understand.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Good. I'm glad they can't hear it. Misty can't hear it, so that's all that counts. So
Okay, good.
I got one confirmation that said it was fine.
And if we're talking, you can't really hear it anyway.
Correct. Exactly. She said because we're talking over it, so we're good.
Yeah. We just got to keep talking.
Yes. Well, I mean, I think that's why we're here anyway. So
right. Pretty much. Yep.
I know there's not much to see on my side today, but we're chatting.
Yes. And I'm excited to get these things cut out because all of them have been on my table forever.
Yeah.
Those things that you're like, I'll get to it eventually.
Exactly. And I should be cutting other things because I do have to film some content this weekend, but this just felt like it was more important and a little bit less thought in a way because, like, I don't know what I want to do for the bag I'm filming this weekend. And it's just going to take me forever to pick stuff out. This was easy. It's easier to pick stuff out for other people.
Yeah. Yeah. When you're making kits, you're like, okay, this is what I'm using. So you just cut.
Well, and I do miscellaneous kits because it's nice. I like having a variety in class, but also it helps to not deplete all of one inventory.
Yeah.
And then I don't have to look at people making the same bag all day long. That just doesn't make me happy.
Yeah. And I like to see how it comes together.
Right. Well,
it's like when I'm picking stuff out, I'm like, ooh, that'll look good. That'll look good. And then when you see it together, you're like, oh yeah.
Well, and it's really fun too because it kind of gives me ideas of like, oh, I want to make myself a sample in that, in that cork. I like how that looked. I taught a class once in Fresno and it was great. I had a fantastic time. But the only thing I didn't like is that part of the experience, she called it like an experience she liked to have for the students, which was awesome. But all of the kits were the same.
Oh, yeah.
And so you have like 20 people in class and everybody's thing looks exactly the same.
Yeah.
And by the end of the day, you're just kind of like, great job. Because like they all look exactly like each other. And I remember they were like, oh, can we get the fabric that you have in yours? And I was like, no, because I didn't put the kits together. That's my fabric that I brought in my sample. I'm like, sorry, guys. And they're just like, oh. And so then we would take a picture and everybody's bag was identical. And it just wasn't as much fun.
All the same. Yeah.
This is way more fun for pictures and for everybody because then you can see everyone's personalities, which is really interesting too. So
yeah.
I'm sorry. Muriel said I didn't hear it until you mentioned it. Now I'm listening for it. I'm sorry.
For the
I will go turn
fan.
it off. I can go turn it off. It's not a problem. See, and that's another thing. So Tracy said you both make such beautiful fabric choices. Thank you.
Oh,
I
thank you.
struggle with that. And I think everybody struggles with that. I think that's a hard thing for a lot of people, no matter how long you've been making whatever it is that you're making. So it's kind of fun because if I do it this way and I make like a bunch of miscellaneous things, then you can just in your head, you're like, I love blue. So I'm looking at the blue kits, but you don't have to sit there and be like, I don't know what I would put with this. What color would you pair with it? I already did all the work for you. So
Right.
that
Right.
is like, I think it also takes some of the pressure off of you. And I don't like having students cut their own kits because if you're unsure of something, I don't want you to not know what to do or to not bring something. So I kind of
Yeah.
like just doing it this way, and then you have options. No, don't turn it off. I'm enjoying it. I will leave it on. I don't know how to fix it. That's really the main issue. It's just doing its own thing. She sings a song. She's living her life up there.
She wants it on the YouTube live.
She's like, I want my moment. I need to be on YouTube as well. Since my dogs aren't down here making noise.
Right. It's got to be something.
It's got to be.
So speaking of kits,
Yeah.
can we mention if you
Yeah.
were in the last live that we did last month, we were talking about me doing an online class, like a virtual class. And I am working on that.
Exciting.
It's gonna happen. What I'm thinking of for that one is I want to do my new pattern, the one that I'm currently writing and have to rephotograph. But I want to offer that class for that pattern before the pattern releases.
That's super exciting. Like,
Yeah, so those people
first.
those people in the class will get the pattern. We'll get to sit down, virtually together and make it up. And I've talked to Jess about making kits for it.
Yeah.
For kits.
Now I won't be cutting them out for you. I'm just gonna preface that. You will still have to do your prep work. But what I do with kits on my website, if you haven't ordered one before, is I call them surprise kits. So I don't put up like, here's, your purple, your pink, your blue choice. I do that because some people are super flexible and they're like, send me anything, I don't care. And some people are like, I just really don't like, I like cool colors instead of warm colors. Or they'll be super specific and say, I love this cork. And then you put a coordinate with it. And so I give you the freedom, but you also give me some freedom. So then again, I don't like everybody to have the same thing or depleting one single color or print because we have a lot, but we don't always order stacks and stacks of the same one. Like we order a decent amount and depending on like the popularity or what we think is going to be popular, but we don't often stock like 100 pieces of something. So it's kind of nice to send a variety out. And so what we'll do is the same thing for Kathy. So I'll have the measurements and the requirements, I should say. I'm not cutting it for you. I'll have the requirements. And so whatever it is, I'll put it all together and send it out. And you can give me as much or as little information as you want. I have literally had people, they won't say anything or they'll leave a note that's like, I trust you. And I'm like, ooh. It's whatever dealer's choice. I'm like this will be interesting. And I have people and I laugh. I always tease them. They'll send me a full dissertation about everything they like, what they don't like, what they would be happy to have if that's not an option. I've had people down to like the zipper color. They're like, and I would like a white zipper with rose gold. And I'm like,
Wow.
okay. I'm like, hey, whatever works for you.
All
As long
right.
as you're flexible, I will do everything I can to give you what you want.
Oh my gosh, that's a lot. I mean, that's funny.
But you basically have the entire selection of my offerings at your disposal, which is really fun. And then Kathy gets to see a bunch of different samples all done up, and then,
Yeah.
can post pictures and like do stuff. Because in case you guys didn't know, it's kind of what we do. This content creation stuff that neither one of us signed up for, that we are now obligated to do.
Yes.
We appreciate when you help us with it. It's always kind of fun.
Yes.
So
I know I'll be walking around the house doing something, or not, I mean, not around the house. Usually I don't do it around the house, but like if I'm out and about, or I'll put like my bag, like we were gone this past weekend and I brought my new bag with me, the one that I'm currently writing. Um, and I like put it up on a table, or I put it on a shelf, or like I'm taking it around, I'm like taking photos. Now, like my husband doesn't even ask questions anymore. He's like,
yeah.
I'm like, just ignore me. Like I have to take tons of photos and content and videos and stuff just to like get it down to something that would work.
Your spouse and your family kind of become immune to you constantly taking pictures. My mom is not a big picture person. She doesn't like being photographed, but I'm like, if we're traveling, it's going to happen. And so, like, there's no questions anymore. I'm
Yeah.
just like, all right, here we go. And she's like, okay, cool. Like,
Okay.
whatever you want.
You're like, I have to.
I have to. It's what I do. So,
Yeah. All right. I need to find some lining for this.
I just realized my iPad's been plugged in the whole time, but the strip was not on. So I just happened to look up and I'm like, why isn't it charging? Oh, because the light's off. I'm telling you, this week has been very interesting.
That could have an impact on if it would charge or not.
Yeah, it definitely does. So, pro tip here, make sure whatever you're plugged into is also turned on. You're welcome for that. And the funny thing is, when I brought it over, I was like, oh, it must be unplugged because the light's off. And then I realized it was plugged in and I had just turned the power strip off. So I did know it. I just didn't do anything about it. So, but I'm at 36%. I'm fine.
You're still good.
I'm still good. We're not going to be here all day, so it'll be all right.
Right.
I also did not look at my iPad until an hour ago when I realized it was at 3%. So,
oh no.
I did amazing today.
But hey, we're getting stuff done, so.
I'm getting stuff done. Kathy was texting me and I didn't even answer any of her texts, and I looked and I was like, oh my God, it's 9:50. I'm not ready. I'm not ready at all.
I gotta go.
Yeah, there were too many people here all at one time, and I was like, everybody needs to get out and be quiet. Go away.
Yeah.
So.
All right.
Oh, I'm not even keeping track of how many of these I just finished. I've been making little checks. I gotta see how many I have cut. Because I don't even know.
Well, are you teaching that class at another expo?
Not as of right now. I have one more left for the year that I don't have classes set up for, so no. But I always do extra. Because I like everybody to have like a variety to choose from. And then if there's extras in class and I don't have anywhere to go immediately afterwards, I will let them purchase extra kits. And if I don't sell them in the classroom, I'll take them to the booth and sell them there.
Yeah.
So there's always, it doesn't matter if I go too crazy, but I like to get to the minimum number I need. And then anything after that's kind of a bonus.
Exactly. Yeah.
So the last time I counted, I was at 15, and I have 19 students, so I feel like I've already hit the 19.
Okay.
I don't know
Probably.
where I'm at now.
Probably.
So.
All right. So I need to make Speaking of something else, I need to make an ID or wallet wrist
Oh, yeah, you said
thing.
that. For Ellie,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, for Ellie for school. She wants it.
Like
So,
a full wristlet or like really small?
um, she wants it to be a wristlet because she already has like a wristlet started with some stuff hanging on it. And so
Gotcha.
she wants this to be able to be in there and to have her like student ID so that it's out so she can, just tap it on wherever she needs to go. Um, but then inside she wants it like she gave me like all these, I want it to have this and this and this and this. I'm like, sure. But I got to work on that too. I just got to figure out. I don't think it'll be that hard to do. I mean, it's such a small thing, but just figuring out
Yeah.
exactly the pieces and how that's going to go together. And
I have a free little ID wallet.
uh-huh.
I don't know if it would help like to get you started or not,
Oh
or
yeah.
if you want to start from scratch, but it's the Sydney. And there's a one-page download on my website, and then there's a video to go with it. If you at least want something, it's raw edge, so it'll at least give you somewhere to start, because
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
the hard part.
Yes. Yeah, because I just need to like I don't care and I don't think she cares.
Right.
But I told her, I said, maybe I'll work on that, during my live with you today. She's like, well, I was hoping to do it with you so I could see how it goes together and, so she could like learn it. And
Oh, that's
I
cool.
guess if she wants to make another one or something, I was like, all right. All right, I'll wait. That's fine.
At 22, so I've met my threshold. Now I
Ah,
just have
good.
to keep going. So 21, 2. So you guys want to see what I cut? I'll show
Yes.
you. I'll show you my 22 samples. Some of them are duplicates, but most of them are not because I try my best to bring originals. So this is for Daisy, which is going to be the tall version. And I'm going to bring piping, and we're going to kind of play it by ear to see if we're doing piping. So I did one in Glam on fuchsia. This is just the main part. I don't have the accents cut out because I can do those on my laser. So that's actually pretty quick. These I
Nice.
hand cut because it's actually easier. I did one in the Witchy Vibes, which is my bag that I'm still carrying. And my sister's girlfriend yesterday was like, I saw that bag last time I saw you and it's so cute. I really like it. And I was like, well, I don't like to make things for people and like make them feel like they have to take them. But if there's
Yeah.
ever something that you want, just let me know. And she was like, okay. And that was the end of the conversation. So I don't
Like,
know. I was like, I would make you something, but I won't make you and like make you feel like you have to take it.
right.
I don't, because I don't. She always has like a sling bag, and so I don't know if she would really carry anything. So I don't want to make her feel like she has to.
Right.
I did 2 daisy cutouts. I did a daisy for Daisy because
Nice.
I've been wanting to do that. So I kind of secretly hope no one buys that kit, and then I can take it.
You just like stick it in the bottom
I'm like,
somewhere and
nobody
hope.
wants this one. You don't want that one.
No.
I did the XL Wildflowers, which is my favorite. I want to make everything with that cork because I love that one. But I have to stop
Yeah.
making stuff with it. And then I did the Mosaic Diamonds, which is very fall,
Oh, I love those.
but I feel like we're
Yeah.
close enough to fall. It's got like good fall
It's
vibes.
it's like a boho to me
Yeah,
too.
oh yeah, definitely. And then I did the Ballerina Swirly Hearts.
Oh yeah, I love that one.
It never picks up right on camera. It's a really pretty pink, but like it always looks kind of white. It's like a really pretty blush color. I don't know
Yeah.
why. It just does not like to be photographed.
I mean,
I
it's the
did
same as the one on cream, right? Just with a different color background.
correct. We also have it on fuchsia, which I think I cut. I think, yeah, there's one of those. And then we might have a new color coming this week.
Oh.
Maybe tomorrow. I don't know. Uh, See you guys at 11 tomorrow. And then I did leopard.
I was gonna ask if there was anything.
Oh, there's some new stuff. Yeah. Can't go wrong with leopard. Maybe I'll give you a little sneak peek. And then, let's see here. I'm trying not to lose these tiny little pieces. We have the embroidered design. Yep. And then I set it and I dropped it on the floor. Come on. Okay. So they got that. I did folk floral. That one.
I like that one.
And summer floral. And we have enough flowers. Nothing has an original name anymore. So why is it summer floral? Because I had no other names to use. So I have, whoops, get in there. The rainbow chevron, which like
That's one of my favorites.
Can't go wrong with that. And I did 2 of the black and white linen. And I might do one with like a black accent and one with like a colored accent just to kind of mix it up a little bit. And then purple glam.
Reminds me of the one that you did, but that was diamonds, right? That you cut out.
Yes.
I put the color behind.
Too.
Yeah.
So I did the raisin glam. And then
I think that's the one I have. Raisin glam?
Yeah. The raisin is the darker one.
Yeah.
Did the fuchsia hearts.
Yep.
And I did the black and white diamonds. I did that one.
Yep.
And I'm making a mess here. Get over there. And then those are duplicates, so I will skip those. I did the houndstooth. I got that one.
Nice.
Night garden. That one. I did one in Eric's Masquerade because that is back in stock. I love this one.
Wait, I don't think. Put that one up again.
This one. That's the one I did the cutouts.
Okay. I don't think I have. I know I don't have that one.
I love this print. Yeah, we sold out so quick, so it just got back in. And then the last
I have to order that with some of the birds.
Yes. Yeah, definitely. I got dizzy. So I have another daisy, another glam, a few more flowers, and a plaid. And I think I have 27 or 28 right now. There's definitely another one that I'm going to cut because I know that there is somebody coming who is a big fan of red. And I'm thinking of her specifically that she's going to want something in red. So let me show you something that will be on the website tomorrow. Let me grab it.
Sneak peeks.
Sneak peeks. So we finally got glam on tomato.
Oh, wow.
And I actually like it, and I'm not a red person. I don't.
Yeah.
And we got the polka dots on tomato. So,
nice.
Yeah. And like we got swirly hearts on tomato. I just don't have a piece of it in here, but they all look really, really cute. We went a little tomato crazy, but
yeah.
It's all right.
I feel like you can't go wrong with. There's just certain colors and stuff you can't go wrong with.
Well, and I think what I've come to realize is that I'm still not a huge red person. Like, it's not my go-to color, but I like the tomato best because it's close to orange, and I'm an orange person. I don't love the candy apple because it's too bright of a red. That, I think, is more my issue, is that it's just not the right red.
Right. Right.
I love the tomato. So,
there's kind of orange.
Yes.
Orange tint to it.
Roberta, it is going to be a very tough decision for you. So
just be prepared.
I'm not gonna lie, it's gonna be tough because that's everyone comes in and goes, oh no, I don't know what to pick.
It's always the hardest decision.
It is. But I mean, you have a lot of choices, but you're limited to whatever's on the table. So
But my problem is I'd pick one up, I'd be like, oh, I really like this one. And then I see another, oh, I really like this one too.
Yeah. And then you see somebody next to you and you're like, oh, I didn't see that one. I hear it every time. I didn't see that one.
Yeah.
Like, I know.
So. Or because the person's like, yeah, because I grabbed it really quick.
Because I had my eye on it as soon as I walked in.
Right.
Not getting it. I always make kits that like I would be happy with. So if I made any of these, I would be happy. And
Me
I feel
too.
like that at least, I think that's a good way to start.
Yeah, I have a. Let me see. Where did I put it? At So Expo in Washington this year, I did the Scoops Ahoy tote, and um, no one picked this kit, and I was so glad because I'm like, yay, I get to make it myself. But
But
it's
also, aren't
all
you a little like, why didn't you like this one?
I know. It's like
Oh, that's cute.
the Breakfast Club,
Yeah, that's so cute.
and then it's got like the black glossy vinyl and like this really bright neon lining,
Nice.
like
Yeah, that's
fluorescent.
perfect. Got a nice 80s vibe to it.
Yes.
I love it.
So
So
I have it all cut out and
the event that I was talking about that I'm prepping for is the OSQE Dallas event. And then Kathy was just talking about the event we both did in Washington in February?
very
February.
end of
Yes,
February. Yeah.
very end of February.
Yep.
So I'm prepping for an event at the end of this month.
Yeah. And my yeah. Well, I've got Lawrence in September and I've got the expo in September.
How close are they to each other?
The very next weekend.
Oh no. Why does that happen?
I
It's
know.
so frustrating. It's like, oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. I saw it and I was like, oh well. It'll be fine.
It'll be fine. It always is, but it's just like, oh man.
I'm gonna be so exhausted come October when I get back.
Right? So
I'll be like, I'm not going anywhere.
we had an in-person event here the weekend after Cleveland. So my mom and I were in Cleveland. We got home Sunday afternoon. I was starting the event that Thursday. We got done with that, and when everybody left, I had a week and a half before I headed to Lawrence.
Oh my gosh.
And then immediately afterwards went to Raleigh. I was like, this is insane. This is too many things all at once. And I don't plan them. That's just the way that they happen. So,
right. Like why am I
yeah.
doing this?
You put something on your calendar and then something else comes along that you want to do. And you're like, I shouldn't. It's so close. But I'm going to anyway.
I'm gonna do it anyway. Yeah.
And I'm
exactly.
going to be real tired when I get home. So don't talk to me for a little bit.
Right. Exactly. All right. I'm gonna start cutting out the other backpack because I think outside of like hardware and zippers and stuff, I think that one's all done.
Nice. Lining and everything?
Yes.
Wow. Okay. I always save my linings. So.
But I just saw that there's like a little side connector, so there's got to be something else, that didn't have a pattern piece. It said also cut, this. Yeah, zipper tabs and strap anchors, and so that's all right. I'll do that later.
Yeah. I like getting my outside cut and then started before I worry about the lining because it's just more fun.
Yeah. This one, I do not remember where I got this vinyl from. I know it was a pre-order, but I have to show you. I don't know if you can see.
Beautiful.
It's like, but it's got little Star Wars things, like the Millennium
Oh,
Falcon's in there. Like right there, there's the Millennium Falcon.
that I would not have noticed that if you did not point it out.
And then like the center right here of the flower, it's got other Star Wars theme things.
That's
I'm like, but it's really pretty. And then you look closer, you're like, oh, it's got Star Wars stuff.
I'm in this acrylic group because in my spare time, make jewelry. So I buy my acrylic from this company and they do all these like really cool prints and stuff. And I have this print. So I was laughing at this comment. Somebody bought a piece of it. And when she got it home, she posted and she was like, so I didn't realize what I bought when I bought it. And I just thought it was really pretty flowers. It actually has dancing skeletons in the background, but you don't notice them. You just, in all fairness to the company, it is in the name. I think she just looked at the picture and just ordered it. And I remember I was like, oh, I have that one too, because you don't notice it at first. You're just like, oh, look at these beautiful flowers. And then you're like, wait, is that a skeleton? Is that a hand?
Wait, wait,
Hold on.
wait. There's a
Something's off.
skeleton there. Tracy said, "Famous last words." I'll do that later.
Oh, yeah, tell me about it. It's my motto of life. I'm like, I could do that later.
I'll do it later.
I'll do it later. Listen, I was so much more productive when I had a office job because I knew how many hours I had at home to get things done.
Right.
Now, I think this is what retirement is like in a weird way. You're just like, I can do it another day.
Yeah.
It's the thing when you work for yourself. You're like, I don't have to do that right now.
Right.
That
It doesn't
can wait
have
till
to be done
tomorrow.
right now.
I can do that tomorrow.
Now that I'll have all these cut. Now I just got to make them. Like I have no excuse anymore.
Exactly. But I mean, I feel like once all the cutting is done, like that's all I'm thinking about is and now I want to go make them.
Yeah. Because that's the worst part.
Yeah.
I
want to know, what is your least favorite part about writing a pattern? Like, what's the part that you drag your feet on?
I mean, besides writing the pattern, in general, I think it's like dropping the photos in.
Yeah.
And resizing them and trying to figure out how it's going to be laid out on the page and where I'm going to put the words and making sure it flows and people aren't skipping steps.
I have no issue once I get into writing the pattern, but it's starting it. Doing the first page of the cutting directions, which how easy is that? I've already made the bag, I already have that, but writing down piece A, cut to this size, it takes me so long. Once I get into it, I'm like, I'll fly through the pattern and I'll get the first draft done in like 2 days. Like
Yeah.
because I'll just sit there and write and write and write.
Yeah.
But wow, it takes what feels like decades just to get that first page done. I'm like, I don't want to do a cutting chart. I don't know why.
The cutting chart and then figuring out the supply list.
Yes.
Because I'm like, is a half a yard enough, or should I say a full yard?
That's
or like a 3/4 yard, or
yes. Because I base stuff on like the cork sizes that I sell, so the outside is not the issue. It's the lining. I'm like, what did I use? Because I'll use scraps, and I'm like, did I use a half yard, 3/4 of a yard? Like,
right?
How much lining do I actually need? And it will wait
Yes.
until like the end before I actually figure it out. It's just so stupid. But
yes,
yeah,
no, it's the same exact for me.
And I don't know about you. I don't know where your naming process, like what part of the process it happens. But if I name the pattern, I'm more likely to get it done than when it's just a pattern that has no name. It's like I just kind of like linger on it. If I've given it a name, it's like it's a tangible thing.
Yeah.
It's like, what was that movie? You named the puppy. It was there was a movie. She was like, you named the puppy, but the puppy was a guy. She was like, you're attached. You have feelings for him. You named him. You called him by his name.
Yeah.
I get attached to the pattern. When it doesn't have a name, it kind of only half exists in my world.
Yes. Tracy said that's so true. I was so much more efficient before I retired.
Yeah, because you're not like, okay, well, I have to go to work at 8:30 tomorrow, so I got to get this done when I get home. And I have like all these other plans. I might have to work overtime. You're just kind of always on free time. You're just like, it's all good. It's all good. Like, I don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, it'll get done.
It'll get done. We got the new cork in this week. And Eric's like, are you going to get photographs of that done? And I was like, yeah, I will. And he's like, today? I was like, don't push me. I'll get it done when I get it done. And he's like, but you can't sell it if you don't take photographs and put it on the website. I'm like, oh, shut up. Why do you
I know.
be logical? That's so
right.
annoying. I know. But he's right. I just don't like to tell him he's right.
Yeah, you can't do that.
No, who needs that in their marriage? Don't tell him.
Don't tell him.
Don't tell him. Just be like, you're never right. stop giving me all these ideas. And then because he went back to work, so he was like, would you mind taking care of orders this week? Because like I have to get back on my schedule. And I was like, yeah, of course. And then yesterday he said, don't ship any of the orders that are in the inbox. Like, let me take care of it. Because I want to try to like get myself now like into a routine of like when I come home, you like getting the orders done. And I was like, okay. I was like,
Okay.
whatever. And then he said to me this morning, I said, there's only a few more that have to be done. Like, we have the bulk of them done. You want me to just get them done before I go live with Kathy? Thank God
Yeah.
he said no. It would have never happened. I was like, no, I just need you to be creative. And I was like, oh God, it gets overwhelming. I'm like, I'm enjoying it, but also I can't think.
Right.
I'm like, I have so many ideas right now that I don't know where to start. And that is really frustrating. It might sound like a dumb problem to have, but when you just can't stop like sketching things and thinking about like, oh, I want to make a bag like this, or I want to do this, you get like a weird writer's block about it.
Yeah.
Like you can't focus, so you can't accomplish anything.
Yeah. Like there's too many things and
Yeah. It's like coming home with all the groceries and not knowing what meal to prep first. You're just like, ooh, but this sounds good, but pasta sounds good, but let me make this, and you just don't know what to do, so you order takeout. So,
right. Yep. Take out for the win.
like, but I can't order pattern takeout. It's not a thing.
Unfortunately, yeah.
No, I have to actually do it. So I asked my Patreons and my members the other day the most random question I've ever asked them. They're probably all wondering why I asked them this, but there was a reason. And I know Zena was here, and a couple other people might understand now. I asked them what their mother's first name was.
Okay.
And they were like, okay. I'm like, I know it's random. Just answer the question. Don't ask why. It's because, weirdly enough, without planning, all of my patterns this year have been named after moms, mom included. And I didn't do it on purpose. And so I was like, oh. I usually name them after like kids and grandkids and like people in my life in that way. But I was like, I don't know how this happened, but I have a bunch of moms. I need more mom names. And so I was reading all of the names, and that's what inspired me to pick the pattern that I wanted to work on and focus on. Because I couldn't focus.
Right. Right.
So they're probably all still wondering about me.
Like,
I am okay. I'm just strange. Just ask strange questions, but
why did she ask me that?
why does she need to know that information? What a bizarre question.
Just go with it.
Just go with it. It's just who I am.
That's right.
So soon enough, they will find out why I asked.
If they've been around long enough.
Exactly. They'll be like, wait, that's my mom's name. Like, I know.
You're like, funny how that happened.
Like, that's so weird. How did that happen? Gotta keep them on their toes, Kathy.
That's right. Oh my gosh. This is a lot of
I
stuff.
love this cork so much. Like, this one, I just think is so cute.
Yep.
All the little flower. It can go with, like, any color at all.
Yeah. I love that. Ooh, my pile. I have a little trash can right next to my table here. So a lot of times I'll just like sweep the stuff off and it falls in. But now it's like, it's literally mounded over.
My trash is on the table. My scraps are on the other side. And then I'm throwing the big pieces over there. But I have until like 1 o'clock to clean up before Eric gets here to ship orders. So
You got plenty of time.
I've got time. I've got time to clean up my mess.
Let's see.
That is one of the things I do miss about having a sewing room that has a door. because I always have to clean up my messes.
Oh yeah. Okay. So we went last weekend. Tony and I went to Ohio. And we went to the Ohio State Reformatory. That's the prison where Shawshank Redemption was filmed.
Oh, cool.
And we went with our friends from Michigan. And we actually have been trying to plan it for like, I don't know. It was over a year in the making. We had it planned, and then like literally within days before we were supposed to go, my mother-in-law got really sick.
Oh.
And Tony ended up going down to Florida to be with his dad and stuff. But that was like last November. And so we've been trying to reschedule it ever since then. So we finally got to go this past weekend. And we stayed at this place called the Brew Dog, but it's a brewery. And that location also has a hotel. So when you check in, they give you a check-in beer. Like they have this like cooler behind them, and you can pick whichever one you want.
Oh my god, that's funny.
And then they have at like, I don't know, it was like 7 p.m. or something. Anyways, in the evening, you know how sometimes they have like little like reception type things.
Yeah.
But they had at 7 p.m. each night they had stout and cookies. So they would give you a glass of stout, of their stout, and like warm baked chocolate chip cookies.
Oh, that sounds amazing.
I was like, cookies. I'll just take the cookies.
Exactly. Like there's nothing better than like hot out of the oven or warm.
Hot out of the oven, and you can smell it, and it's like,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It was great. It was a lot of fun. But the prison itself was very, like it's supposed to be haunted. But it was very like I mean, there was a lot of bad stuff that happened there.
Sure.
And they were shut down because they were sued because it was all like inhumane, and I mean the bugs and the rodents and the cockroaches and sanitation, like I mean every horrible thing you could think of happened there. But it was very interesting.
It sounds like a cool thing to go see.
It was really cool. But also they said, because they're in the middle of like not the middle, but they're in the process of renovations. Because apparently the prison was supposed to be like the state of Ohio wanted to shut it down. And tear it down. They didn't want to, I guess, too expensive to keep up and whatever, because it was built like in the late 1800s, and then it didn't close down until 1989.
Wow.
So it had a lot of issues. As a building built in the 1800s would.
Right. Exactly.
But they wanted to shut it down, and this I can't remember what the group is called, but basically it was a group that wanted to preserve it. They were trying to get it, so that they could keep it. And then Shawshank came in and was filmed there. And they said really it was because of Shawshank that the thing was saved. And so now this group has it, and they're, in the process of restoring it, and the money from the tours that they get helps to, fix some of the things that they need to fix and whatever. But as we're walking through, she's like, please don't take anything, obviously, but like don't touch the paint chips or because there's a lot of peeling paint. And she's
Oh
like
yeah.
because it's lead based paint.
Lead.
She's like, and you'll probably see some asbestos. And I'm thinking, is it safe for us to be in here? Just to walk through here? Is it okay? Like, I don't think
Should
we're
I be
supposed to be in.
concerned?
Yeah, I'm like, I don't think we're supposed to be in here. But it was really interesting. Kind of creepy.
Oh, I bet. Okay.
Now I'd like to go see, I also want to see Eastern State Penitentiary.
I don't know where that is.
It's in Philadelphia.
Okay. So you're on a prison tour.
I'm on a prison tour. Going on a prison tour.
Going on a prison tour. Hey, I'm not judging.
Basically, I want to see old haunted places. But the prisons are always interesting to me.
I mean, all of these like older places are always really interesting. I've somehow fallen into an algorithm on like TikTok and Instagram of abandoned places,
Oh yeah,
and that stuff creeps me out. And I watch horror movies, and that stuff still creeps me out. I'm like,
it really
ooh,
does.
I don't think I could go there. Like some of these places, ooh, they definitely give me the heebie-jeebies.
Yes.
So.
Just looking at it on TV.
Yeah.
Like, ooh.
Exactly. And like these people will just show you these pictures, and then the thing I've been seeing is this is what it looked like when it was open, but this is what it looks like now, and I'm like, oh no. Like I don't like that.
Yeah.
I
That's
don't
not
like
good.
that at all.
That's not good.
And I think the creepiest thing is abandoned amusement parks.
Oh yes.
Oh, because like they were a happy place at one time.
Yeah.
I mean, prison was not. So
Right.
like it's it's still creepy, but like in its own way.
Right.
But something that was like brightly colored and super happy and
yeah, there was always like music and laughing and
yeah, exactly. Like it's your childhood memories and like all this, and now it's just like this creepy abandoned thing, and it's just it's so unnerving.
yes. Like when we went to New Orleans, because there's that
Yes.
Six Flags there that got shut down because of Katrina.
Mm-hmm.
And they show pictures of it, and they said now, I mean, it's all overgrown, and I guess they film like post-apocalyptic movies there and stuff. But they said there'll be alligators walking through, and
Right. Like,
I'm like,
no.
alligators are not supposed to be walking loose at an amusement park.
So I listened to this podcast. You might actually enjoy this if you don't already listen to it. Do you listen to Mr. Ballin?
No.
Okay, so he tells his tagline is strange, dark, and mysterious.
Okay.
And so sometimes he'll have an episode that's like about a crime of some kind, but sometimes he'll have these episodes, and these are my favorite, where it's like multiple short stories, and like one of his themes, because he actually has a YouTube channel, but I never have time to sit and watch the videos.
Okay.
Also, they're creeping. I'd rather listen to it. Where he'll have places you weren't supposed to go that people did.
Yeah.
And one of them, I don't remember the location, but it was these young kids that went to check out, I feel like it was in an abandoned hospital or something, which that I think is the creepiest thing ever.
Yes.
More than parks. But it was in an area like New Orleans, or I think it actually might have been New Orleans, somewhere that they had flooding.
Okay.
And so they're in this abandoned place, and something chased them. Was it an alligator because it was filled with water? Like they don't know.
Right.
But it kind of they were like, something was there. Something was in the water, and we don't know what it was. And I'm like,
oh no,
sorry, it was an alligator. But just to think about like going and
No.
exploring these places and then to be chased by something, real or not, it's like, oh no.
Right. I
I
mean, I might be more terrified if it was
right.
real.
I only like my creepy stuff when I don't have to be immersed in it. Like I'm not
Exactly.
going to do this kind of stuff. I'm a
Exactly.
big chicken. So,
Yeah.
but
Ooh,
he's
man.
got some really cool stories and like just listening to some of this stuff, like even if you're not into true crime, like that's totally okay. It's his creepy stories and I just love the places that you weren't supposed to go. The other thing, sometimes he'll tell these cave stories and listen, no offense against any of you, but if you are going spelunking, I don't think you're well. I think you need to get in touch with whatever is bothering you inside. Why are you squeezing your body into tiny little caves where you don't belong and then getting stuck there? Like, don't do it.
Right.
Please don't
Right.
do it.
Right.
But he'll tell these stories, and I feel myself getting uncomfortable listening to him. I feel my heart beating. I feel like I can't breathe. I'm like, oh, I'm like, why are these people in these caves? I don't understand. And like, people will post and they'll be like, it's weird how it's not optional, and they make them do this. And I'm like, right? I'm like, stop going into caves. Like,
Right. Right.
what?
Why are you doing this?
What are you doing this to yourself for?
What was the name of it? I'm gonna write it down
Mr.
again.
Ballin.
Mr. What?
Ballin. Balllen.
Oh,
Yes.
Mr.
His
Ball. That's
name
just the name.
His name is John Ball, I think. So
Okay.
he's Mr. Ballin, but he has a YouTube channel if you want to watch the creepy. But his podcast, and they're usually short. They're like half hour, 45-minute episodes.
Okay.
But he also has a medical mysteries podcast, and that one is really fascinating too because he'll tell these stories about these undiagnosed things, and then when you find out what it was at the end, you're like, oh my god, and somebody lived through that. Like that's crazy. So
Yeah. Yikes. That's
yes,
interesting.
it's very very interesting. But he said he kind of started during COVID on TikTok telling these random stories, and people loved listening to it.
Yeah.
So then he started a YouTube channel and then just kind of turned it into a podcast. And it was just, he's a former Navy SEAL. So, I
Okay.
mean, his whole background in itself is interesting, but he doesn't talk
Right.
about that a lot. But he just kind of got into this and he said something went viral one day and he just kind of was enjoying it because he wasn't sure what he wanted to do now that he was done with like being a Navy SEAL. And so he just did this and he just blew up on YouTube, like millions of followers. I'm like, like it's just crazy. Absolute crazy.
Wow. Wow. That's what I need to do.
I mean, I feel like that if you're on YouTube, I feel like that's all of our like goal, but
Right.
I don't know how to get there.
Right.
I guess there's more people that want to listen to creepy stuff than make bags, but
Yeah, probably.
whatever.
If we could tie the two together. Hmm.
I mean, can I tell creepy stories while I make the bags? Like, does
Right.
that work for anybody?
Right. Haunted sewing hour.
Haunted. You know, we might be onto something, Kathy. I don't know that it's already done, so we might have to do that.
We might.
The
I'd
haunted
be up for
sewing
it.
hour. Well, do you know who Bailey Sarian is?
No.
She's also a YouTuber. She does makeup. Like that's her thing. She's gorgeous. Does
Okay.
amazing makeup. But she started this because she loves true crime. So she started like these YouTube videos where she tells a creepy true crime story while she's doing her makeup. And I'm like, these don't go together, but they do for her. Like it just works. And
Right.
she's like, today we're going to talk about this horrendous crime. But look at my eyeshadow. And she gets is Yvonne knows, isn't she awesome? Like she's just, and she's so pretty. Like you just want to sit and watch her. And then she does this amazing makeup and but she tells these creepy stories and it just kind of happened and it worked.
That's funny. So there's another podcast that I started listening to. It's called Killers, Cults, and Queens.
Oh, I've heard of it. I haven't listened.
Um, so it's a drag queen and then a girl, and they take turns telling the stories. I think they're on their third season. So like they'll research stories and then the one is telling the story and the other is reacting to the story. And then the next week they flip and you know, the other one tells, the other one reacts. We could do that. Like we could totally do that. You could tell a story one time and I could be reacting while we're sewing.
I think we have a new channel.
I think we do.
Oh my god, that would be so fun.
It would be so fun.
The only thing is, I'm going to tell all of you right now, I listen to all these podcasts and I know the amount of research that they put into it. I am all for storytelling, but I am not going to spend hours doing research and getting all the factual things. I'm just going to tell you a story. And it probably is correct, but it might not be. I'm just, you know, I'm like,
It
I
could
think
be
this is
no,
what
whatever.
I don't have time for that kind of stuff. I can't dedicate a whole other part of my world into researching things.
That
You
is
know,
a lot of research.
I have
Like,
all the respect in the world for the people that have been through the traumatic stuff, but I just don't know if I can do all the research on it.
yeah. There's another podcast that I listen to, Morbid. Do you know that one?
I love them. Yes.
Okay. So there was one, I don't know if it was the Ed Gein
Yes.
one or if it was the other guy in England, serial killer. But it was like 5 episodes long.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm like, that's so, and each one's like an hour. They're talking for an hour. That is so much research.
It is. It is. But they also, I mean, now that they've grown, and like, I don't know these girls, but I'm proud of them. I'm happy for them. They
Yeah.
have grown that podcast into a this cult following. Like, it's amazing.
Yeah.
I listened to them in the beginning, and I remember thinking, like, you know, it was just a podcast and they were doing a good job, and then all of a sudden they put so much work into it. I don't think either one of them works outside of it anymore. I don't think Elena is an autopsy tech anymore. At least she doesn't talk about it.
Right.
I mean, she's writing books, they're doing tours, like they're doing all this stuff, and I'm like, that's amazing. Like, I don't know you, but I am happy for you. Like, I am so impressed with the fact that you got to turn something just as like a hobby that you did with your sister into this amazing thing that's just like massive. Like, I do attribute their following to Elena's book selling so well. I have read the first book. I have the second. I haven't read it yet. But they're not bad books by any means. But I know that, like, if you or I wrote that book, it would be a different reception than with her being such a big name. Like, everybody knows her. She's meeting, like, the lead singer of Ghosts. Like, they have Bailey Sarian was on once. Like, they followed her on YouTube and they were like, we love her, and they got her on. They had she did the what episode was it that she did, the Long Island Lolita, Amy Fisher.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
she was the one that she was the guest host on that. Like, they've made this into this massive thing, and I'm like, it could happen to any of us,
Right.
but it hasn't happened to us. Like, you just never know. And I don't think they did anything extraordinary. They just kept doing it, and people liked them, you know? And it was just like, I'm so happy for you guys.
Right. Or like you get one little, because they were doing tours.
Yes, and then COVID shut that down, but yeah, I mean, they were selling out. They were selling out all over the place, just telling stories about people. Like, that's just crazy. It's crazy.
But also that's a lot of work.
But also, now that they've grown, this is where I started 10 minutes ago. I get sidetracked. They do have somebody that does their research for them now.
Oh, nice.
You get to that status and you have somebody helping.
Yeah.
I just want to get to the status where somebody's cutting my bags out for me. That's all.
Is that too much to ask?
Too much to ask. Come on. So, you know, just somebody to be like, here, this is what you're going to sew today. Go relax, have your coffee, chill. I've got it. And I'm like, okay.
Yes. I've cut and prepped everything for you. Just go sit down and sew.
Yeah, exactly. I picked out your thread color. Here's your hardware. I'm like, oh, thank you. So great.
That would be amazing.
That is a world that I don't live in, but I fantasize about it a lot.
Oh my gosh. I would love that.
Right? I'm like, oh, you're so sweet. Thank you.
I think
Pat, you're not wrong. Pat said, if you get that many YouTube viewers, you would have too many crazy people stalking you. Listen, it's the price of fame. No, I'm just kidding. Um, you know, I'm very obsessive about my numbers because I like, not because I have like, it's not because I'm like, I must have people follow me. I obsess about them because I like to see that what I'm doing works. Like I
yes.
want to make sure that I'm not wasting my time. Like why am I on YouTube if nobody cares? If no one's going to watch, if they're not like liking the videos and stuff like that. I
Right.
want to, so I watch my numbers, and if my numbers are stagnant, I start to wonder why. What have I not done? What didn't go over well? So I definitely like pay attention, but I'm fully aware of the fact that not everybody is going to be a YouTube star. I'm not trying to be like, I have 5 million followers. If it happened, I wouldn't be mad, but it's not a goal. It's not the only thing that I do. I
Right.
just want to know that I'm not wasting my time on
Right.
social media. I want to make sure that it's for a purpose.
Yeah.
So like I'm not trying to make anything crazy happen. I feel like anybody that kind of, makes things happen, and gets far in this kind of social media stuff, I think a lot of them want it and really push hard. I want it, but not hard enough to sacrifice other things I'm doing. Patterns are still my focus, and
Right.
that's the thing I can control. Just like you. Like, no one
Yeah.
else is writing our patterns. We are the ones that are fully in control of that. I don't control how people spend their money, what videos they watch, what cork they buy, if they buy cork. Like, but I get to control certain things. And so I still want to do that. I don't want to ever be like, well, I don't even write my own patterns anymore. I feel like that wouldn't be me. Like, that is
Right.
the foundation of so many creations. I want to still do that. But in the meantime, if I can grow on the internet and bring other people into this to want to, support me, like, I want to do that. I'm
Right.
just not like, well, I need 5 million followers. Like, I don't,
Right.
if it happened someday, I still wouldn't know what to do with myself. I'd be like, that's weird. But I would take it.
Right. Right.
But it's okay if it never happens.
Yeah.
I'm totally fine if that never happens. It's not a thing, and I'm not competing with anybody except myself. You
Yeah.
know,
If I ever got to the point where I was able to add like to my team,
right?
I would still be writing the patterns.
Correct.
Like that would still be what I would do, and then I would hire other people to do the other parts.
To do the parts that are important, but not on the creative side important. Like,
Right.
you don't need to be creative to ship an order.
Right.
Or to, like, to even help source things. Like, if I got to the point where somebody helped me source stuff, you
Yeah.
don't need the creativity there, but I still want to, I want to design the patterns, I want to write the patterns, I want to talk to the testing group, I want to do that kind of stuff.
Yes.
That I don't want to change that, because then I'm the owner of a company, but I'm not actually doing the part that I started doing. I don't want that. That's
Right.
like the root. That's what I enjoy doing.
Right. Yes. Yeah,
I
because then
love
I feel like I don't know. I just feel like then you just lose touch and like
exactly.
am
And
what am I even doing anymore?
exactly. And the thing, like, for me, I love going to shows and actually being able to talk to people about patterns. Imagine if you didn't write it and someone was like, let me ask you something. And you're like, I don't know. I don't write the patterns. Like, how weird would that be if you were like, I can't answer questions about my own stuff? My name's on it, but it's not mine. But I truly enjoy meeting people that like follow me, and they're like, oh, I watch you on Fridays, or oh, you're like, I've had people come up and they're like, you taught me how to do this, and I'm like, I did. I'm like, oh, that's so cool. So I love watching that part grow, and like it's enjoyable. If it got to the point where it was too many people, it probably would be overwhelming. If that was the only thing you were doing at like an event, is just nonstop people like talking about your channel, it probably would be exhausting. But
Yes.
it's kind of nice to like mix it in, because I'll be in my booth and there's one person that comes in. She has no idea who I am. She's never met me. She doesn't know so many. She doesn't care at all. And she's
Right.
like, this is a nice pattern. And people go, have you made this before? I'm like, I did. And I don't even tell him. I don't correct him. I go, yeah, I've made that one. I just kind of go with it. I'm like, oh
Once or
yeah,
twice.
I've made a couple of these samples, and I'll just like sit and talk to them. And then the next person is like, I know you from YouTube. And I'm like, thank you. I'm like, thanks for watching. And so I kind
Yeah.
of like, I like the dichotomy of it, where you never know who you're gonna be at a show to
Yes.
someone else. They're just
Yes.
like, oh, I've never heard of so many creations, and the next person is like, I've been waiting to take a picture with you, and I'm like,
I
okay,
know.
like okay, that's cool.
I know. The first time I went to SME in Florida, um, I was walking somewhere and someone said, Kathy, and I was like, what?
What? Who said
and,
that?
and she was actually talking to me, but like she recognized me and I was like, okay, this is really weird. This is so weird.
The first time is always weird because you kind of forget and you're like, oh, that's right, you know my face. But like when you get used to it, it's kind of fun for me. And I don't know, because I know your mom's gone to events. I don't, has Tony gone with you?
Mm-mm.
Okay. Eric's a ham. We all know that. Eric eats it right up. And he just like is like, oh, that's my wife. Oh, they know me. Like he gets all whatever. My mom My mom now is fine, but in the beginning, my mom got so uncomfortable because she forgets that I post everything online. And we went somewhere and I had the car packed and I said, I have just enough room for my mom. Like joking around. So of
Yeah.
course, and also my mom looks like me. It's kind of like we look alike. So you can
Yeah.
tell my mom. Somebody walked up to her with no context and was just like, oh, hi, hi, Jess. Oh, I love your channel. Oh, hi, mom. I'm glad she's got room for you in the car. And just started talking. And my mom was like, I don't understand. Like, who is that? And she got really like, I don't know what to say. Like, this is awkward. And I was like, Mom, they know. She's like, well, how does she know that I'm your mother? And it's like, okay. Like, who else would you be? We look alike.
Like,
Like, have
do you
you
see
looked
our
in the mirror?
faces?
Like, you look like the same person. I'm like, Mom, really? And then she's like, but how did they know that I was here? And I was like, because I told them. And she really was weird about it in the beginning.
Yeah.
Then fast forward to like a year into this, like of her like getting used to it. We were in Novi last year and one of my customers came up to me and she was like, I'm so excited to meet you. And she was so sweet. And she's introducing me and she gives me a hug. My mom's taking our picture without us knowing. And she goes, I thought she was going to cry. She was so sweet. And I was like, I'm glad you finally are okay. She's like, oh, I'm used to it. And I'm like, okay, good.
I'm used to it now.
She was
It'll be
so
good.
weirded out in the beginning by it. And I was like, Mom, this is how it is. And now she's just like, yep, you're taking pictures again. Yep, this is happening. And
Yep. Yep.
she's
And just ignoring like,
yeah.
what we were saying with the family, like they just get used to it. They're like, whatever. There they go
Oh my gosh,
again.
there she goes.
I gotta grab some more material.
I'm gonna read questions. So let's see what we are listening to or what we are reading. How about talking one of those podcasts into letting you do a mystery theater thing? Oh my god, that would be so amazing. The podcast with the sewing commenting. That would be so cool. I actually almost was on a podcast. A non-sewing related podcast. I met somebody through another podcast on Discord and we were talking. We just became friendly with each other. And he was like, you should totally guest star on my podcast. I was like, invite me. And then
Yeah.
he dropped the ball and so did I. So it didn't happen. But I was like, I will talk true crime with you anytime. So.
Oh my gosh. That would be really fun.
Oh, Misty said I could ship her stuff and she'll cut it. You're so sweet. And you're right. Lauren does have Tammy. Tammy is a godsend.
Yes.
Lauren's absolute angel. And she is an angel in general, but she does do all the prep for Lauren. And I'm very jealous. I'm not going to lie. I'm extremely jealous of it.
Yes.
I want a Tammy. I don't have.
Right. Right. I know. Can we all have a Tammy?
Yes. And Tracy, for sure. Tracy said, summer might have an impact on viewing. You are 100% right. It's definitely, I definitely see a difference in things because people are outside. They're on vacation. Kids are home from school. Like, that's a big thing.
Yeah.
So I don't do a whole lot. Like, I don't like go crazy in the summer with stuff because it definitely changes. By the time fall comes and everybody gets rid of their kids again,
Yeah.
away, and they're in college, they're in school, vacations are over. I feel like it definitely changes interactions and view and like all that kind of stuff for sure. So
Yeah. And it's hard. I find it hard to do content in the summer myself, just because for the same reason, kids are home or we're
right.
traveling, or sometimes you just want some time off.
Yeah, I don't really have excuses. I have no children. And I don't really do anything for my personal life. I don't have a personal life, but I did take 4th of July weekend off, like
Yeah.
sort of. I just decided I'm taking some time off. I wanted to paint our downstairs bathroom, as
Yeah.
exciting as that sounds, but it's just one of those things that I wanted to do it and I never take the time to do it. And I said it to Eric and he's like, "You should." He's like, "Take a few days off. Like that's what you want to do. You've been
Yeah.
talking about it. Do it." And so
Yeah.
I did. And it actually, I'm so glad because it just feels so much better. But why not pick the hottest weekend of the summer to be inside in a non-ventilated area and paint? What what great timing that was. But Muriel, I love this comment so much. You are bringing the sojo back to us sewists who were stuck in a rut for years, and I say thank you all on YouTube for doing it. You're welcome.
Uh,
I think that's really the main reason why we do this, is
yeah.
that kind of stuff. I love hearing that kind of stuff. Like, somebody came to me at one of the shows, and I've met her not in person prior to this, but virtually. She used to do some of my retreats. And then she kind of just went away, and it happens sometimes. Life gets busy. And she said, she hasn't been around because she had cancer, which I
Oh my
didn't know.
gosh.
I mean, we don't always know these things. And she was like, "But I'm always there, even though I don't comment and you don't know it." She's like, I listen to your videos, and she's like, "You got me through chemo." And I was like, I'm gonna cry.
Oh.
I was like, that is the nicest thing ever. Like, I'm so sorry you went through that, but
Yeah.
I brought some peace to your life, which I don't do that for a lot of people. So I'm like,
Right.
that, like, tell my
That's
husband that.
amazing.
I'm like,
Yeah.
that's so great. Like, I'm so happy. And it's so good to like see you in person. And when she walked into the booth, I was like, I know her. I know that I know her face, but I'm not placing her. And then when she said her name, I was like, oh my God, I do know you. And she
Yeah.
was like, yeah, I haven't seen you in a while. And it was on a computer. And I'm like, oh, like, this is so nice. Like, those are the things, like, I don't care about millions of subscribers. I care about the ones that I have, like, interacting with them and
Yes. Like
being
making
part of
personal
their life.
connections and
Yeah. It's
yeah.
about quality, not quantity.
Yeah.
The quantity is great. The quantity, it helps financially, it helps with views, it helps with all that stuff. But I don't want a million people that don't know me. I'd rather have 10 people that really like me and want to get to know me.
Right.
Like, it feels better,
Yeah. Yeah. Totally.
I'm reading your comments. I'm not just randomly staring at the iPad, I promise. You just made your 5th Alice. Oh, that's awesome. I love that bag. That bag was named after my grandma. You used to do employee orientation for a large corporation. That sounds like it would overwhelm me to no end, Tracy. That
Yeah.
sounds like too many people all at one time. Everybody kept saying hi, and her friend asked if she knew everyone. Yeah, that happens a lot too. And that's something that you get used to very quickly, that we don't know you or your face, but you know ours. And so when you get a lot of like, "Hey Kathy, hey Jess," and you're like, "Hey." And my mom finally stopped asking, "Who's that?" Because I'm like, I don't know. I don't, unless you come to me and tell me your name, I don't know.
Right.
It's a very weird thing that happens with when you're on the internet. And
Yes.
we've all done it. So don't ever be embarrassed or feel weird about it, because I myself have done it many times. I have walked up to people, just blatantly gotten in their faces and started talking to them like we're old friends, and then realized she has no idea who you are. She's never met you before. You know
Right.
her because you follow her, and you never introduce yourself.
Right.
So we all do it.
Yeah, I've had those people look up to me and they're like, "Hi," and they start talking. I'm just like, "Hi," and then they walk away. I'm like, I have no idea who that was.
Yeah, I have no idea. I have no idea. And so I'm always like, just if you're gonna come up and say hi, please don't worry about being weird and awkward because I'm weird and awkward. Just tell me your name. That's it. And
Right.
Tracy is a perfect example
Right.
because Tracy came up to me in Illinois at Lauren's and said, "Oh, she's like, it's nice to meet you. I follow you. I just ordered some cork from you." And I said, "What's your name?" And she was like, "Tracy." And I was like, "I know you." You know, so we're all
Yep.
weird. And I think I gave her a hug. I'm pretty sure I gave Tracy several hugs because I'm a huggy person. That's just who I am. Well, I cut out a whole bunch of daisies. Look at this stack.
Oh my. That's so much. That
There's
is
so
so
many.
much.
I feel so much better now, though. I mean, I still have a long way to go, but I feel so much better now.
That is awesome.
Yes.
See, now you won't be stressed out.
I mean, oh, are you kidding? That's my brand, Kathy. But
I mean, well, maybe you will be, just not about that.
now I have to cut the linings, which that should not be a hard thing, and I have to do the accent pieces. So that shouldn't be so bad. But I
Yeah,
have
and
I have nothing else prepared right now.
I think I'm mostly done with this. A few lining pieces, but I also think I'm ready for a break.
I think I am too. It's lunchtime, so I want to go eat some lunch before
Yes.
I have to vacate my table here.
Yes. I agree.
We'll pick a date for August.
Yes.
We'll aim for the probably the same like mid, and I will be back from Texas, so that'll be a good time.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
I've got the only thing that I might have to work around is um college move-ins because I've got
Oh yeah.
two going in soon.
Two. Are they close to each other?
Thankfully, yes.
Good. Good.
So actually they're both off the same freeway. So we can take the one freeway and hit both schools, so that's really nice. But Ellie is she'll be about an hour and 15-ish minutes away. And
Not bad.
then Nate's like 2 hours away.
That's not
So,
bad.
and they're only like 45 to an hour from each other.
Yeah. It's
So,
good distance because then you have enough distance to like work on your independence, but you're close enough when you still need your mom and you can go home.
yes, yes.
I was
And I,
about an hour from home and I was like, at least my mom is still like within reachable distance. Like I can get to her
yes,
pretty quickly when I'm having one of those days. But
yes.
I
And
wasn't like
I think
living at
Ellie's
home.
gonna need that a lot.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's important to her because she was also looking at Washington, D.C.
Oh wow.
And I was like, it's not so easy to come home on the weekends, like you're not going to be able to do that. So
Yeah.
I'm glad that she chose the closer one.
Yeah. My sister just up and moved to Ohio like 11 hours from us. And I was like, excuse me? I was like, where do you mean you're going to school in Ohio? She's like, see you later. Like, okay.
I think that would have been me. My mom said for kindergarten, she went to drop me off the first day of school of kindergarten. And I was like, bye, mom, see you later. And I like just went right into the school and she's like in the hallway crying.
And I don't, where are you in order of children?
The oldest.
You are, see, okay, that's so weird because we're usually the clingier ones because I'm the oldest. And it's the younger one that's like, see ya, I'll call you at Christmas. My
Right.
sister didn't care and just took off. Me, I very much was like, Mom, I need to drive myself to college. I can't have you bringing me. I'm not a child. I can do this. And as I'm pulling out of the driveway sobbing, I look in the doorway. My mom is standing in the doorway crying. And I was like, I don't want to go. So, and I drove myself an hour away and had a nervous breakdown. My sister is
Oh.
like, so we're moving to Ohio. Get your stuff. I was like, what do
Ohio.
you mean? This is crazy.
That's too far.
Mary, I'm really glad. I'm glad that Kathy's been independent. I feel like I'm also independent, but I also need my mom. So I am right in the middle there where I need my independence, but I also need my mom.
Yes. Yes.
Always. I need her
Yes.
nearby.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Definitely. I think we always need our moms.
oh, for sure. Yes, for sure. Well, on that note,
All
I
right.
also need lunch. So
Yes.
it was fun hanging out with you guys.
Yeah,
And
it was very fun.
I will be on tomorrow. I have new cork to show you guys. And other than that, Kathy and I will pick a date for August, and we'll see you. There's a strange man outside. We'll see you in
I keep
August.
seeing him walk by.
I know.
Hey, maybe next time I'll be cutting out my class kits because it'll be August and
Maybe I'll actually be sewing next time. How great would that be? We never know what's on our table.
always something.
All right. Well, we'll see you guys later.
All right. Bye,
Bye.
everybody.